Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for this week's question and answer video. I'm David, I'm a life coach. I make these videos hopefully to help you guys heal and grow from your traumas. This is a weekly question and answer video I do every single Monday. I'm answering people's questions from last Monday, and I encourage all of you, please go down below, ask questions. I'll answer them in the next video next Monday. I like to recommend something every week to you guys. This week I'm recommending a supplement, something cool that I found. It's called Integrative Therapeutics HPA Adapt Stress Resistance Complex. So this is on Amazon. I'm going to read something about it for you guys. I've made many videos and I talk a lot about a kind of hormonal imbalance that happens to people with suffering from trauma for prolonged periods of time. People have PTSD and CPTSD. This is something to help regulate that. So what it says is it helps support the body in times of stress, supports the HPA, which is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, to help maintain stress hormonal balance and a healthy stress response. HPA Adapt encourages calm, reduces stress-related fatigue, supports cognitive function, and improves outlook. All things that are affected by trauma, prolonged trauma, with a unique adaptogenic herbal blend including rhodiola root extract, sensoril, ashwagandha root, and leaf extract. I don't know what this is. Eleuthero root extract, maca standardized extract, and standardized holy basil leaf extract. Gluten-free, no salt, wheat, soy, dairy, or artificial colors or flavors. Integrative therapeutic supplements are trusted by physicians and backed by science. Every product is held to our high standards and rigorously tested to empower you on your wellness journey. Because confidence is healthy. Except for that one root extract, I know what these others are, and they do help. They do help. They help with your, without diving into it again, we have a nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic, releases stress chemicals to help us fight the danger, the traumas that affected us. And then we have another part of our nervous system that helps reduce and calm this afterwards. The problem is we don't get rid of the danger, and it stays in our life every day, and this stops working very well. And this is supposed to help you guys get back on track. Like I said, it's on Amazon. The link is down below in the description box. They're selling it for $37.53 for 120 count capsules. That's a pretty good deal. Anyone else is taking this that knows about this, please let me know what you think. And let's get on to the questions. Now, I made a comment in the community page a couple days ago about, I believe I'm being shadow banned by the YouTube channel here, being shadow banned. And I want to first apologize because I must have said something that made a lot of you guys think like I'm done, I'm not coming back, taking a break, not making videos. Not at all. Never. Never. Well, one day I'll have to stop, but never. And this is something that's been going on for at least 3 years to my channel. And I want to just kind of discuss it with you for a minute to clarify what's going on and what I think is going on. Here's the definition of shadow banning on Wikipedia. Also called stealth banning, ghost banning, or comment ghosting, is the practice of blocking or partially blocking a user or their content for some areas of an online community in such a way that it will not be readily apparent to the user that they have been banned. For instance, shadow banned comments posted to a blog or media website will not be visible to other users accessing the site by partly concealing or making a user's contributions invisible or less prominent to other members of the service. The hope may be that in the absence of reactions to their comments, the problematic or otherwise out of favor user will become bored or frustrated and leave the site. And that's what it's doing. So over the last 3 years, like I've said, I've noticed patterns of this channel. Now, this channel used to grow really fast. It was used to, for a couple years, it get an average of like 150 subscribers a day, and it has gone way down. Now, I understand that it could be me, it could be my content, things like this that have dropped in quality and people don't like it as much, it's not growing as fast. I get that. The thing is this channel is a smaller channel compared to other YouTube channels. And I've noticed things like when I say something controversial, there's things I'm learning that you can't say on YouTube a lot. That list is growing, and that list is not out in the open for anybody to see, because they can't admit, YouTube won't admit that they censor people, okay? So they aren't going to say, yeah, we do it, here's the list of words you can't say. They aren't going to do that. So we learn as we go, YouTube creators, and I've noticed when I say something that they don't like now, for one is like the illness we've had for a couple years. If you start talking about that, you could be shadow banned, you could be docked. And what I've noticed is when I say something like that, that day, everything stops. My views and likes and comments and everything. The average views I get for every video drops down to like 20%, 10%, just like that. It's immediate, that day, next day. People's comments will disappear. You guys tell me this. Your likes will disappear. You guys have troubles or can't find my videos, maybe even my channel, I've been told. You guys have the notification bell to be notified when my videos come out. Never happens, doesn't happen. Matter of fact, when I'm being shadow banned, I can't even comment on another person's video or like it. I can go back and it's always gone. And then this happens for a little while, and then slowly, I don't say any bad words, and slowly the channel starts to increase in views a little better, a little more, stuff like this, and it's not, and people don't tell me that they can't find me again until I say another bad word. Okay, and then it happens again. So this has been going on for quite a while. I've had somebody reach out to me lately and show me how they know this is happening to me. Bigger channels aren't as affected. They have such a large base that they're always going to their videos all the time, and it's not as affecting. Okay, that's all I meant. I'm not giving up and not stopping, and something like this isn't going to stop me. I want my channel to grow. I want it to grow for personal reasons and to help people, for this information to reach further and further out there for people to see it that need it. That's the whole reason I started this channel. So it's frustrating, just like it says. It is frustrating me, big time. It's sad. It's sad that I work so hard and I say one thing or two things that they don't like, and so they just do this to me. Instead of just coming right out and saying it, hey, you know, here's the list of 100 words and subjects you're not allowed to talk about. Because here's the deal, guys, and I'm done. Censorship, when we censor one person, everybody's being censored. Everyone. Because you're not allowed to know what one person wanted to say. Okay? We're all so different. We all have different opinions, and we should be allowed to state these opinions. Because we have laws. We already have laws. It's already illegal to attack people, to threaten people, to promote violence and things like this. So we don't need censorship. Okay? If you don't like what somebody's saying, stop listening, stop watching it. It's that simple. If other people like it, then we have a difference of opinion, and we accept that. That's enough said. I'm only saying this because I feel like I kind of got a lot of you guys to believe that I'm not going to be around anymore, and that's not true. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. And it could really help you guys. That's why I asked for you guys to help support me. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share. 10% of you guys are doing it, and thank you for those 10%. The other 90%, please, if you know, I get people saying, oh, I don't subscribe to your channel because I don't want my ex-narcissist to know. I don't want people to see me and do this and kind of stuff. Well, kind of realize that they're winning. The more I'm silenced and other channels like me, and the more that you guys are doing what your ex wants, they're winning. That's enough said. Okay. One of the questions I have here, first ones that I asked in the comment section is, are you sick of the Amber and Johnny case yet, or can't get enough? And I've got lots of mixed, different messages, obviously, of course, different replies. The one replies, the one part of kind of replies that people give me, I'm really shocked. Specifically from people who have been through emotional trauma and abuse. Victims like us, who have been victimized for years by victimizers, watch this case and say, oh, they're both abusive, they're both toxic, they both deserve it. I've had people say that Johnny deserves what, because two things we definitely can all agree on, we know now that's fact, is Amber did physically abuse Johnny. I don't know what else happened. I don't know if Johnny abused her or nothing. I'm not claiming anything. The only thing I've ever said about this case is Amber's lying. And we know that now. So the two things we know is that Amber did physically abuse Johnny. She's admitted it. No one can argue that. She's already admitted it. She calls it different things, but she hit him and hit him and hit him. The other thing we know is Amber's been caught lying a few times now, for a fact. So it's just amazing. I expect people's comments to say, oh, whatever, they're both sick, they deserve each other, they deserve it. From toxic people, abusers, and people who have never been through it at all, that just don't understand it. But when I see people who have been through it and have a story and say, I've been abused by emotionally damaging people, and then look at this case and say, oh, they deserve it. Johnny deserves it. He's got to live with it. It's his choice. He made his choice. And I want to be really clear, and then I'm going to move on from this. Anything anyone does to you is not your fault. Period. And it takes me, it's very damaging, and it can take me an awful long time with some of my clients to help them understand that everything that someone did to them is not their fault. So I really hate to see that. I really hate it. It's called victim blaming. You're blaming the victim for what somebody else did to them. It doesn't matter how many times I let my abuser back in my life, how many times I trust them again, how many times I open the door and allow them in. It doesn't matter. If they hurt me, it's their fault. I may make bad decisions I have to live with, yes, but it's not my fault that people mistreat me, ever, ever. I'm going to make that clear, and I'm not going to allow that on this channel, that kind of victim blaming. So anyways, let me know if you guys have any other questions about that case. I'm thinking about making a separate video about it and maybe continuing. We have about another week left of the case before they reach a verdict. And the one thing I want to say, this case helped me understand and realize what I want to write my book about. I started my book about a year or so ago, and I wasn't quite sure what I want to write about or what I want to call it. This case reminded me of why I started this channel. I have a ton of people in my life, in my experiences in my past, that have falsely accused me of things I've never done. It's extremely damaging. I can't explain it. For those of you who have not experienced it, it's one of the most psychologically damaging things you could ever experience. For your whole family and friends and people in your past to believe bad things about you that aren't true at all, that you've never done, is awful. It's awful. Lisa from Ireland, hi Lisa, she made a comment that the truth always wins. I don't know about that. I'm still waiting. So I'm going to write my book and tell the truth. I've talked about my experiences in my videos. I haven't said it all because I get people telling me I'm lying. Sometimes people accusing me of saying that I deserve it and stuff like this, and it's pretty bad. So I'm going to put it all in my book, all of it, every little stinking bit of it. And it's to do it is to, I'm hoping to help people that read it heal from the same things that I've experienced, okay? So that's it. Let me know if you guys want to keep talking about that case. So Esther from London, United Kingdom says, I'm a 35-year-old woman and a huge advocate for male victims of domestic violence and emotional abuse. I saw my father being abused by my mother and being made out to be the bad guy, and then I got into a relationship with a male with BPD for 4 years. Luckily, it didn't last long. You reactivated your childhood trauma, started watching my channel, this channel, and you're abused by your mother for many years, and you have CPTSD. Johnny is speaking for me, speaking for my father, speaking for the numerous quiet victims. That's right. That's right, because I promise you there are millions and millions of quiet victims that are never heard, that are falsely prosecuted in court, that are falsely blamed by people in their life, and it's awful. You want to know what causes suicide more than anything? That. Ostracized, exiled, ignored, shamed, blamed, scapegoated. The worst thing you could do to a human being, I think. I'm grateful to Johnny for doing this, even though I'm sure he wants to get as far away from Amber as he can get. Yeah, he won't even look at her. I normally don't follow celebrity news and gossip, but this case feels personal. It does to me too, Esther. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. I've had 5 girlfriends alone in my life that have physically abused me. 5. Physically abusive. I was physically abused by other women in my childhood. That's why. These women all told people I did it to them. And massive people believed them. Massive people believe them today, I think. I don't know. It's a pretty bad feeling. And a lot of people in my life, when I told them that women were abusing me, no one seemed to really care. They all blamed me and said, it's your fault, haha. So I do have that feeling too, Esther, that Johnny's kind of speaking for all of us, silent victims. Thank you. And B, I don't know where you're from. I'm just going to read parts of this. I hope that's okay. You saved my life too. I started watching your channel 5 years ago. You taught me all about narcissistic abuse. You felt comforted and gathered strength watching the videos. You write down my advice and stay no contact. Your ex left you for another woman 17 years ago and you have 3 children you share. Nightmare, smear campaign, horrendous, soul destroying. You felt like you couldn't go on. Words cannot express how grateful I am for your assistance in my recovery. Thank you so much for telling me. I believe some people are sent to this earth to help people, and believe you are one of those people, David. Because of your videos, I was able to gather strength, develop an understanding of narcissistic abuse, and found your own closure and started focusing on loving yourself. Because of my videos, you finished your nursing degree and bought the house from the narc. Don't give me that. Maybe my videos inspired you a little bit, but you did it, and good for you. Good job. I hope that feels really good. Thanks for crossing my path and helping humanity heal. Thank you for telling me. Thank you. Okay, Nancy. And I want to say that too, in the comment I left in the community section, you guys, it was amazing, supportive comments. Thank you so much. That's so nice. You guys thought I was leaving. You guys were like, no, we love you. You were great for us in my healing. Thank you very much for telling me. I really appreciate all your guys' time that you give just to tell me and comment and stuff like this. Thank you so much. Hi, David. I told my therapist how much I've learned from your videos, and she asked for your name and channel because she felt it could help her other clients. You've educated me when I stumbled onto your videos over 3 years ago and needed to understand why my life was unraveling, had no knowledge of smear campaigns, gaslighting, but there it was, and it shocked me that these people existed and meant to hurt and destroy me. It cut off the rest of your comment. I'm sorry, Nancy, but thank you so much. That's so nice. I just really appreciate when you guys just take your time to tell me. That's really, really nice. And thanks for sharing my videos with your therapist. I've actually had a lot of people tell me that they do that. Emily from Latvia. Hi, Emily. David, would love to hear your opinion and conclusion for Dr. Joseph Mengele case, also known as the Angel of Death, as he never admitted any wrongdoing. Why is it? And you know what? I forgot to look that up. I'm sorry. I can bring that up again next week. But you do have a question. Why is it that abusers never admit wrongdoing? And so you got a couple elements to this, to your question, to the answer. And so you have not able to look at myself, right? The first way to change behaviors you don't want, change parts of your life, is owning it. That means looking at myself. How do I have a part in this? If I just can't see that, then I can't change it. So it's first I got to look at myself, and if I hate myself, if it hurts too much, I won't do it. I won't even look at myself. So I did no wrong. This is somebody, like, this is perfectionism, narcissism, have to be perfect, can't ever fail or make a mistake or do something wrong. That's how I feel about myself, so ashamed of myself. So the other part, which is really important, is we talk about like psychopaths. Something you might see as a psychopath will kill 20 people, right? And get caught and admit it. Something common they'll say is, but I didn't rape them. There's a very popular quote I found, and I'll post it on the community page tomorrow. And it was by a psychopathic murderer, convicted, who killed a bunch of people. And he said, I wasn't ever going to rape her or take her money, just kill her. Because it's not socially acceptable. That may sound funny from someone who's antisocial, right? But it's still an element there in an antisocial, psychopath, sociopath. I didn't rape her. He got caught murdering and knows that's wrong. I didn't rape her. The biggest fear of human beings is death, right? And the biggest way to die, the easiest way to do that, the worst way, is exile. Exiled from community. That's the worst punishment you could ever receive. Not just killing you. No, we're going to put you on a horse and we're going to send you out the gates, and you're all on your own, because that is imminent death. Imminent death. To not have society. And this is still ingrained in the psychopath. I don't want to be judged. Even psychopaths, most of them don't want to be a monster, even though they are. They don't want to be. It's a very common way for police officers during interrogation to get them to admit stuff like, where's the body? You know, we already know you killed him. If you don't show the family where the body is, you will be a monster forever. And then they show where the body is. Crazy, huh? Even the antisocial, even the psychopath has that element of not wanting to be banned from society, because it's still ingrained in their brain that it's imminent death. And I'll look up that case that you brought up and answer that next week. Salema from France. Hi, Salema. I have so many questions and stuff in this video. I can't read all of them, so I want to get down to your questions, Salema. Oh, you didn't have a question. You just had a statement. You were talking about. Yes, you are right. The threat was the need not to change anything. Maybe I behaved in a way that made the adults of my family think that I was less manipulable than the other children. So what you're saying, and what we've been talking about, kind of answered a few questions about your family and stuff for you, is for years I was so angry with my elder sister, blaming her for everything, until I realized that she was a victim too of all the BS in the family, and that my mother used her as a shield. While I was busy dealing with the BS of my sister, I could not see my mother's. And the same with my younger siblings. They just hate me so badly, as I was used as a shield. They saw my craziness and not my mother's. Really, I mean, this is codependency. And think of codependency as not growing, being stagnant, still, never changing, staying right here. Think that we all have problems, personal problems, and then there's problems that arise in relationships, especially a family dynamic, right? Every family's got problems. Big time. And they need to be worked on and fixed, or relationship ends. Doesn't matter what relationship it is, even family. And so a codependent family is, we have problems, we're not going to address them, don't call me out on it, we're all going to accept all of our own problems and not change. I'm dependent on you for accepting my problems, because I can't accept them or change them. Just like before, I can't look at myself. I can't say, yes, these are my problems, own it, I need to fix it. No. And I don't want anyone in my family dynamic to do that to me as well. Don't point out my problems, or I'll point out yours. And then it starts becoming threatening. Using people as shields so that I don't have to look at myself, so I'm not ever held accountable. Make sense? Thanks, Lima. Oh, here's the rest of your question. Is it a scheme you noticed in dysfunctional families, using some members as a well to hide the madness of the narcissistic adult? Yeah, and so you've got the sole person in charge, the ringleader, the mom, right? And everyone's shielding them. Everyone won't address mom's problems, because if we all did that, that's the core of this family. Then everything will be riled up. Everything will be changed and different. And I can't have my mom to rely on and depend on, be dependent on, and to accept my problems, not call me out on them, to just continue things to be the same forever. Stagnant, no growth. Let me know if I answered your question, Slama. Thanks. And Pope, hi David. Question. Okay, I'm just going to read it the way you wrote it. Question. Good psychopaths. Bad guys usually become the hero. Bad guys have hero inside them. Yeah, psycho who does something because he wants to be seen as okay. Yeah. Again, society. We all want to be accepted by society. And a way that toxic people will do that very often is be that hero, right? I'm going to post on my Facebook what great things I did today for other people, so that everyone sees it. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Become the hero. Become the good person, the person you can trust and rely on and count on. Be accepted. And a lot of people who think that they're not equal will overcompensate to be better than equal. I got to be better than equal. Something I call the sociopathic step over. This is something that a sociopath does to be involved or be included in groups, something they'll do is they'll pick one person in that group and attack them and make up all kinds of bad lies and say, this person's doing these bad things to the group. They are a threat to your group. And that's how they get in. So that hopefully they'll get rid of that person and now this person can come and fill in. Sociopathic step over. I'll step on you to be in the group. Pretty nasty stuff. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I've got a question from Rory. Hi, Rory from Ohio. And I don't have it here. I just remembered it because I see just the smidge of your name here. So, Rory, you asked me about what is a certain specific drug that people are taking that make them like zombies. I just gleeked everywhere. Gross. That make people look like zombies. I think you're talking about flaca. Flaca. Not the Spanish word meaning skinny. F-L-A-K-K-A. Just crazy. I mean, if you just go look on YouTube, type in F-L-A-K-K-A. I've also seen it F-L-A-C-C-A, which is this word for skinny, or thin in Spanish. It's unbelievable to watch these people on these drugs. It's just insane. It's amazing. It's so sad. Yeah, I don't know what else you asked me about it. If you did, I just don't have your question here. I'm sorry, Rory. Ask me again if you want to, but I think you're talking about that drug. It's been around for a while now. And then Emily again Emily, first time, different Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. Find it very difficult to articulate what I want to say. It feels like all the information is coming out at the same time, and I can't order it into a sentence quickly. I'm sorry, Emily. It sounds like you're experiencing cognitive problems, cognitive difficulties. This is a process where we take in all the information from all of our senses and begin to come back with how we want to react to this. This is very affected by trauma, very. And that's why people have CBT therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, and it can really help. You, Emily, I bet. Talk to a doctor and ask what they think about CBT and DBT therapy. Okay, and I'm sorry you're experiencing that. As you get further and further away from the stress, like your family that causes, you can begin to heal. Okay, you're very young. Should get better. Chris. Is it right, and I don't know where you're from, tell us your locations, please, people, thanks. Is it right to feel the need for her to come back so I can turn around and say no? So, I don't judge, so I don't care if it's wrong or right, Chris. The problem with feelings, if this is some type of feeling you have, what would you call that? What would you call that feeling, Chris? And feelings, we accept. It's who you are. Okay, so accept your feelings. They're not wrong or right. It's just the way they are. I feel this way. It's nothing I can do about it, right? It's like being attracted to somebody. You can't totally control that all the time, right? It's like I'm attracted to somebody. Like homosexual people are attracted to the same sex. What can they do about it? That's just the way it is. They accept it. Beginning with acceptance. So accept your feelings, Chris. Start exploring this and processing it, and try to be more aware of yourself. Okay, so we have feelings, and then we have wants and desires and needs, things like this, and then we have thoughts. These are all very different parts of ourself. Besides our thoughts, it comes from our brain. We might just have thoughts. We might have anger. We might have resentment, remorse. We might want revenge. These are all okay. They're just feelings. How we respond to them, how we express them and things like this is typically what helps us feel better or worse. Okay? If you have a thought that you want to do something, say bad, say if we label this as bad, toxic, negative, it's just a thought. It's just a feeling. You're not reacting or behaving on this thought. These are things that we process, and it's really important to talk to other people, okay? My clients, I know most of them find that it helps them a lot to be able to just get this stuff out and thoughts and feelings. Without it, they can really, really affect our decisions. if we can't bounce things like this off of friends and how we feel and just thoughts and stuff like this, we tend to be isolated with them and make really bad decisions. So, Chris, you feel that way. How do you feel? What do you call these feelings? Why do you feel this way? Why? And what can you do about it, Chris? Okay? We go by with what we need and what we want and how we feel and our value system. So you feel that way, okay, or you have a thought, okay. What do you want to do about it? What can you do about it? Express these. Describe how it feels. Describe that anger or resentment or revenge, whatever you may be feeling. Describe it to somebody. Write it down. Write a letter to this person telling them how you feel and what you want and why you feel this way and what they did to you to make you feel this way. You don't have to send it. This is internal. This is about you. It's not about the other person. Okay? So some of it's about what they did, but it really is important. It's about how you feel. That's all that matters, Chris. Process it. Talk to people about it. I wrote so much to dive into. Sorry you're struggling with this, and thank you for asking. Feelings aren't wrong or right. The answer lies in exactly who you are. Used a couple of these in your question. Feelings and needs. Beware of exactly what you do need and want and how you feel, and you will have your answer. Hope that helps. Of course it's okay to feel certain ways. How would you feel about doing that? Does that best say who you are? If you can look into the future and say, how would I feel about doing that afterwards? The sound of it may feel good now, but you having to live with yourself afterwards, it may not be very good. You may not like that. But you're more than welcome to do it, make mistakes and learn from them. And do that. And say, oh, man, that didn't feel good. I don't want to do that. Maybe. Jennifer from United Kingdom. Hi, Jennifer. What are a few techniques to help us connect to our bodies? What I find interesting, I'm just going back because I remember a question you had, Jennifer, before this, and I can't find it. So Jennifer, you asked me also something to the effect of, how do we observe our true self? And then you asked, how do we connect to our bodies? So try to understand there's a difference. And I always use internal self and external. So we have our true, authentic internal self, and I kind of divide it up into 5 parts. What you want, what you need, how you feel, what you value, in your opinion. Everything else is our body. Everything is external. It's our ego, it's our brain, thoughts, stuff like this, and we separate them. So first is, how do we observe our true self? Look less at our external self. Okay, so if you look at the monks up on Mount Tibet, no mirrors, no clothes, we're all dressed the same. Things like this, okay? And we don't observe other people's external self and place importance on that. Try not to look at people's, try not to judge and try to compare. And we start looking at truly who we truly are. These things, okay? And we try not to look at the other things. Get rid of your mirror. Don't worry about what you wear and makeup and things for a little while. It's okay to have these things. I think a balance is great, healthy. But you want to observe your true self. That's one way to start doing that. And in a question that I love that you guys can ask people in your life, people that say they care about you, ask them what they love about you, what they like about you. Ask them, who do they think you are? And they might tell you some external things, pretty and educated, smart and funny, but who are they really inside? Who are you really inside? People that care about you, who do they think you are? And at least starts that and places that focus and attention on that. Techniques to help us connect to our bodies. Start accepting them, okay? The good and the bad, and not being afraid to show it. I've helped people with massive scars on their body. And the more that they hide it, the worse they feel about it. And as soon as they start showing it, literally going out on the beach in a bikini with like 80% of their body scarred, and they start to accept it, and they feel like others do too. Okay? People can't accept us for who we are until we accept ourselves, and we can't be lovable until we love ourselves. It starts there first. It's always with the relationship with ourselves first, okay? Connect to your bodies. Kind of do the opposite of what I said, right? So, exercise, that's a good one. Meditation is awesome for both, connecting with both, separating mind and body. Yeah, be proud of things, you know, of your true self, Jennifer. Celebrate things and accentuate things that you like, and show people the things you don't like. You'll see that people actually are pretty accepting. It's amazing, you know. Most of us really do focus and worry about our own selves being accepted more than we worry about accepting other people. Think about that. It can't be more true. Most people in the world are more concerned and worried about being accepted than who they accept or who's accepted in society, things like this. Most people that act like they're accepted in society aren't. Most people that act like they aren't accepted and think they aren't, they're not. Hope that makes sense. And I think that is it. It is. That's all the questions. If I miss your questions, let me know, guys, okay? That's another problem I'm talking about. I'm missing questions and stuff, so just keep asking me. I'm not ever going to miss someone's question on purpose. If I don't answer it here, I answered it on the video, in the comment section. Thank you, guys. Sorry to alert you guys and upset you and think that I'm going to stop. I'm not going to. I won't let things like this take me down or stop me. And I really appreciate all of your guys' support. Your guys' response was beautiful. Thank you so much. Love yourself first, guys. I'll see you next week. Take care.